film, Shaun has done it again. Shaun has managed to go through cinema and squirrel out a film that nobody else knew was actually existed.
Yeah.
And this is a film called All My Friends Hate Me.
All My Good Friends. It was quite funny. So I went to
all My Good Friends Hate Me.
Yeah. All my friends hate me.
All my friends hate me.
All my friends hate me. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This was quite funny because I went into the cinema and blow me, there's a guy that worked at the Isle of Wight one that was transferred over there. So I had a good old chat with him for a little while. But I'll tell more about that later. So yeah, I'm like, wow, what you? And we had a talk. So down to this film. This film is something I think Sharon and possibly Holly absolutely adore. So basically, it's a story. It's a bunch of university friends. They haven't seen each other for a while. It's this person's birthday, and they're all meeting up at this. Well, it's a massive stately home farmhouse sort of thing that is owned by one of his university friends called, that's George and Fig. They're sort of married to each other. There's an ex-girlfriend there as well, Claire, old flame. There's Archie, who's just like a total toff. Imagine Boris Johnson on just shed loads of alcohol.
Yeah, rather not, but yeah.
So he goes off. He's got his new girlfriend, and so he leaves his girlfriend. Says, "I'm going with my university friends," and he loses his way a little bit. So he asks an old country boy, "Oh, do you know where this place is?" And he goes, "Yes, I do. I know where that place is." And there's this little pause. He says, "Can you tell?" Anyway, so there's this. He meets this guy. He turns up at the house. It's open. He goes in. No one's there. So he's sitting there all lonely, having a beer, thinking, "What's that?" And then his friends come up. They say, "Where were you? Where were you? We left the note for you, to meet us down the pub. We've been down the pub and all that." So he's like, "Oh, okay, I missed you." And they brought back this sort of a real Darcy, Devon, because it takes place in Devon, a real sort of this brings this character back who makes him feel a little bit threatened. So yeah, and then there's other stuff that goes on, like he imagines they're talking about him, and he goes to sleep and he hears laughter and all that, and they say, "Oh yeah, what about Claire? Claire, his girlfriend, she did something when you left her and all that." And it's becoming more and more, and you are thinking, you never know what is so good about this. You never know if it's just his paranoia. If it was me, it would have been paranoia, and I'd have got the hell out of Dodge. I'd have thought, I don't know with this nonsense. But anyway, so it goes on, and he thinks this stranger from the pub is gonna he gets more and more paranoid basically. And then there's a scene like out of Straw Dogs where they go on a shoot, and so you got all the country people there going on, and yeah, this is a really, really interesting, great, well acted movie. The characters, you can't really, they're sort of, you hate them, but you've got a little bit of sympathy with them as well, you know what I mean? So is
it one of those things where you hate them but you also know somebody like that?
Yeah, somebody like that, and you can have a little bit of sympathy with them, like the really posh drunkard, you know what I mean? He's like, "Oh, Tim, nice but dim," but you know what I mean? So yeah, so there's all things, they put a party on at the pub, and you got all this it doesn't go, but this guy chases him with an axe, but it's just he gets totally paranoid. His girlfriend turns up, and then he thinks that it gets even worse, and it comes to this big reveal at the end. So how much time I got left?
You got a minute and 50 seconds.
So basically it's like bits of comedy, horror films. Reminded me of very much of one of those Pete Walker 1960s type, 1970s type horror moments, like House of Hammer type things, you know what I mean, with the woods and the strange folk and what have you. But this was class. This was a class movie. So I recommend.
How many stars?
Pardon?
How many stars would you give it?
Oh, this. I know we were talking about earlier with Holly, but for me, this would be a 5-star, and I recommend if you get a chance to see it, Sharon. Okay. Anyway.
Well, okay. Now we've had this for a couple of weeks now, and there seems to be a vein of British films that are being released that are really good, but are not anywhere that people can watch. So it's like, like Shaun is like, I would recommend you catch this, and I'm like, yes, let's have a look. Closest place to me is an hour and a half away. An hour and a half.
Really, again.
So I'm close to Birmingham. You think, okay, that's a student town. They should show something like this. But I have to go to either Gloucester or Northampton to watch this film. So we had this last week with the outfit. We had this the week before with, not so long with the Roadhouse. These are all these films that Shaun goes and squirrels out, finds them, and says, "Oh, it was amazing. You should go watch it." And we're like, "We can't."
Yeah, I know. It was. I mean, as I say, it's. Yeah, I mean, I thought this was. I couldn't wait to tell you about it, actually. I almost went out and said, "Sharon, see this movie, mate." It's good. It was like the other one, the one I said about the other day.
The outfits.
These films would be. It's such a shame they don't go to the islands, because
apparently, Shaun, what we have found is that these films don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. No.
It's not they don't go to the island; they don't go anywhere. And it says that this is and it's put this film as a 2021 film.
Yeah, so, I feel that I think like the blockbusters. I don't seem to like all the ones that make all the money, and then I see these type of films, and it's just. I mean, the atmosphere was there. They were funny, but it was just, it was just the whole thing worked. So and it was believable, But as I say, for me, after about the second day, maybe even the first day, I'd have probably gone home. I would have got.
You mean being in this? Yeah. Oh, and Shaun, I think looking at the cast list, the guy who I think would have played the posh one was that character called Harry?
Harry. Well, no, Harry was he's the dude that comes. Okay. He's the dude from the pub.
Okay, cool. So Harry, the dude from the pub.
Archie was the.
Okay, cool. All right, I see. Oh yeah, I can see his face, Graham Dixon. Yeah, he does look like he would be good at doing posh. So, but anyway, the guy who played Harry, Dustin Demery Burns, he's also in Slow Horses. So
really, oh right, okay, that would be good then.